course, the irony is, I bet you every time I go to use a cotter pin, these will not be the size I'm looking for. You never know. Put it in the pile. I thoroughly went through the whole place, and I am confident now that based on what I took last trip and what I took this trip, I have now cleaned him out of all carbide inserts. This is the last of the carbide inserts, I believe. So these are some interesting ones in here. These are marked SPG 422s. Although it looks like we got two different kinds in here, clearly. We got these pretty gold ones, and then we got these here. Okay. TPA 32P2s. Okay. Couple packs of those. Oh, these pretty gold ones here. These look like good ones here. CNMP H32s. More of these triangle ones. Again, I'm going to have to do a whole thing on carbide, figure out what I got. Oh, look at these. Oh, these are funky. Little tiny rectangle ones. TC60s. Ceratip. TNMP 431 KC810s. Oh, here's a whole pack of these gold ones by themselves. So these probably... Chances are these four right here actually belong in maybe this package. I don't know. Oh, no, they got different markings on them. Oh, maybe not. Not going to worry about it right now. And then this package here, these are all just loose in the bottom, but they clearly fit this package. Unfortunately, the backing's gone on them, so I have no idea what these... Well, no, actually, these are marked, which is great. Then there was an extra one. So I must have had more than one package of these at some point. These are CHP 163P2. That's kind of a funky one. Obviously gives you two cutting edges by flipping it around. But because of the fact that it's got, it's not just a straight triangle, a lot of the ones that I have that will hold triangular cutters, I wouldn't be able to use this on. So there must be a special holder that goes in that I do not have, I'm pretty sure. There's a little orphan one there. So we took care of making sure there were no carbide inserts left in that shop. Oh, I got a nice holder. So last time I was there, I thought I snagged all of the insert holders, and then I found this one here. It was off by itself. This is made in USA. This is marked MTGNR16-4D, made in the USA. All right, and that takes one of the more common triangular inserts that I know I have a bunch of, so I'll be able to play around with that. And that looks like it's in excellent shape. That looks like it's never been clamped. And it's not ground down or anything like that or bent. So that's a nice holder. Oh, I got this one cutter that I was in the pile, and I put it off to the side and I forgot about it, but this is also from this haul. So this I can actually put in a collet in my mill and use this in my mill. I don't know what angle. Excuse me. I don't know what angle that's gonna cut. I'd have to check it, but it's in perfect shape. There are no chips or breaks on what I believe are carbide tips on this thing. So I like that. That's a nice little cutter there. All right, guys, so this is almost the rest of it. I got one mystery item I'm going to show you, and I'm going to ask your help with. But first, let's see. I think this is just a bearing. This is a thrust bearing assembly. Brand new in the old box. It might come in handy, I don't know. So he had a bunch of these blanks, and he had noticed that they were cobalt. So first trip, he kept talking about these as if there was a premium to these. So I shied away from him because I got plenty of this stuff. But by this second trip, he had discovered that when he called around to scrap yards that they weren't going to give him more money just because these were cobalt. Matter of fact, some of the scrap yards didn't even want them So these were basically for the picking. So this one's been ground, okay, but these right here, these are 5/8 by 3/4 Momax Cobalt. 3 of those, brand spanking new. Not sure what that's, a 5/8 Momax, but that's smaller. This is a VR Wesson Tatung. This looks like this was cut down maybe, but this whole end right here is unmolested. It's another Momax, another VR Wesson Tatung. This one, judging by the weight, it's not carbide. I don't know what this is. This is just marked Rex AA. It's definitely a tool steel blank, small one. I don't know what that's made out of. Another Tatung Wesson.
Longer piece. Another Momax Cobalt. There's a larger Momax Cobalt.
So most of that's cobalt blanks for lathe tools right there, which it just so happens I now have a grinder that would be probably pretty good at making cutters out of this stuff. Although I do like my carbide inserts, playing around with those. Momax. These are getting a little bit bigger now, you notice. 3/4 inch. As opposed to the 5/8. And then, look at these suckers. Alright, well we get two here that are a little bit smaller. These are bigger than the 1 inch. Man, these are, well, these say bigger than the 3/4. These are 1 inch. Momax, Cleveland, USA, Cobalt. Completely unused. And then these are the biggest. These are Momax Cobalt 1 1/8 inch. Imagine the size of the lathe that this went on. Here's one, number 855, it looks like, a Momax Cobalt high-speed steel ground tool, Cleveland Twist Drill Company. Oh, Momax is a brand name of the Cleveland Twist Drill Company, and it's Momax Cobalt, brand new in the box. A little bit of surface rust on there. This thing's not going to care about that. Kidding me? Wipe it down with some of that PB Blaster, grind it up, and go to town. Cut the heck out of some metal. All right, guys, I got a last item to show you. It's a mystery item, and I'm calling out to the vast wisdom of my viewers to tell me what the heck this thing is. Oops, I lied. Sorry. So this is the mystery item right here. We'll get to that in a moment. But there was one other item I got them to throw in to the deal when we were getting down to the nitty gritty. That right there is like a 5-foot long bar clamp. Nice old steel bar clamp. Actually, it's marked right here 52, so I'm thinking that means it's a 52-inch bar clamp. And then it's marked up here on the handle 107, but that's the only markings I can find on it. But that's a nice big old bar clamp. And then next, of course, the mystery item. All right, so it clearly looks like, to me, it was an attachment for some other machine or large machine. Now, whether or not it was an integral part of the machine, and now that this has been removed, the machine is useless somewhere, or whether or not this was an accessory that could be used on said machine, I don't know. So what we've got is we've got this this bracket that's cast. Okay. Clearly this whole part right here is clearly made the way it was made. It hasn't been like monkeyed with or altered in any way. This obviously rode on some sort of a post or a rod. Okay, it's not threaded or anything like that, so it wouldn't be like on a lead screw. It wouldn't run down like a lead screw. This is clearly some sort of a stop. Okay, that can be set. This is a dovetail here, okay? All right, and this almost acts like a, what the heck am I thinking here? It eludes me right now, but when you turn this knob right here, apparently there's a screw in there that's going to advance this top slide on this part of the bracket very precisely. There are even jib screws here, so this is obviously meant to stay nice and tight and precise on this dovetail. This whole block here appears to me to be just a shop fabricated holder for this cutter, high-speed steel cutter that's been ground and put in here. Now, this is exactly how I found this. Notice the cutter is in upside down, okay, based on the rate that's ground on this cutter. Oddly enough, this is upside down, which doesn't quite make sense to me, because it almost seems like this handle would be in the way out here. So unless this was made to, boy, I don't know. This is really, now I could probably just loosen this nut and spin this right around, but that's not going to really solve any problems either, because if it was facing that way, I'd have to run it all the way up this slot, this T slot, way up this end, and then it'd be in the way over here. So that makes me think this is supposed to maybe turn 90 degrees so that the cutter would be like this. Okay, but then we still get the problem of the cutter's in upside down. So this thing has just got me completely flummoxed. I don't know what this is. I haven't cleaned it up really good yet to see if I can find any markings on it. At first glance, I haven't been able to find anything. It's got a really nice polished steel handle on it. It's got some precision to it. This could be a very valuable accessory or part to some machine out there somewhere, and I, for the life of me, have no idea what this is.